Brother Bill Brandstatter. Brother Brandstatter, who is a factious man? Titus 3, verse 10. Brother Brandstatter.
Again, we thank you for this, and very good question. And I had not really considered the actual word factious in this context until the person asked this question. I appreciate them asking that and the challenge to do some word study on the word faction and the word factious. It's interesting, in the King James it says a heretic after the first an admonition, reject. So what does the word factious mean? It's interesting in the dictionary when you look it up, factious, it says it comes from the word faction. So what does the word faction mean? Basically, a person who stirs up division. Brother David Lipscomb states that a factious man is one who creates strife, who creates division. And of course he does this by pressing his destructive opinions upon others. But please understand, a factious man is not just one that has a different opinion than mine, but one who's trying to press that on others. As a matter of fact, in the text in Titus 3, if we look at verse 9 and the verse before this, Paul writes to Titus, avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. No doubt some of those to whom he's referring to, or the man to whom he's referring to, may very well be one that caused those contentions and those strivings he mentions in verse 9. So a factious man stirs up division and stirs up strife. Dr. James McKnight notes that a factious man is one who makes a party in the church in opposition to those who maintain the truth. There indeed could very well be the case also that a factious man is one who not only creates division, but draws people after him. And I want you to notice a couple of things. First of all, in Titus 3:10, notice he says that this man who is a factious man or a heretic, in verse 11, knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. Listen to Acts 5, verse 36. We may have a couple more examples of individuals who drew away people after them in the form of a party or a clique or a group. In Acts 5:36, for before those days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men about 400 joined themselves, who was slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to nothing. Notice Paul writes to Titus that the factious man would be condemned of himself. Here we read of a man who drew away people and they were brought to nothing. Acts 5 verse 37, after this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And so certainly we have examples here of individuals who drew away people after them, boasting to be somebody, claiming to be somebody. As a matter of fact, as we look also at 2 Timothy chapter 2, Peter talks rather about those false teachers who will privately bring in damnable heresies, denying the Lord that brought them, and will bring upon themselves swift destruction, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. So we get this idea of individuals who have their own opinion. They deliberately, purposely bring about problems by creating division and by drawing away people after them, and their work then comes to nothing. But you remember also the Apostle Paul talked about the elders at Ephesus. He said, after my departure, grievous wolves will enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things. And here it is now, drawing away disciples after them. So certainly a factious man is a man that creates division. But I believe there's more than that. He is one who creates division in the sense of drawing numbers of people after him, after his team. But notice again, he condemns himself. Sometimes the work is brought to nothing. But indeed, a person that caused division, the Apostle Paul said that we're to withdraw ourselves from every brother that walks disorderly, and not according to the tradition which we received from the apostles. And the Apostle Paul pleads in 1 Corinthians 1 that there be no division among us, that we be perfectly joined together in the same mind and the same judgment. I want to close with Psalm 133, verse 1, where the psalmist said how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. That should be our goal, friends, to dwell together in unity. Thank you so much.